All right. So that's
I fuck my cat.
Dustin, put that at the beginning of the video.
Yeah, that's gonna be. That needs to be the name of the episode right there.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Radio Labyrinth, the Gen X pop culture podcast that covers any and all things movies, TV, radio, podcasts, etc., as long as we like them. I'm your host, Tim Andrews, a regionally semi-famous Atlanta radio personality, and my co-host is Jeff Leboff. Joining us this week, two special guests from the Haessler Doctrine, heard Monday through Friday on WSB Radio, and, of course, a podcast host in her own right with fellow doctrinaire Greg Russ. They are hosts of One Topic podcast, and she also used to be a co-host on this show. Autumn Fischer, hello.
Hello.
Hello. And also,
Hey, Autumn.
and also joining us, our video guru and resident Stephen King expert. Damn straight. Dustin Lollar.
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
What's up? Pretty damn good. This is season 5, episode 44. Before we get started, please check our YouTube page. That URL is, Dustin?
YouTube/Radio Labyrinth podcast.
Yeah, follow us, like our videos, all that stuff that everybody tells you to do so we can monetize and feed our dogs or children. Or ourselves. And make sure that you follow us on Twitter at Radio_Labyrinth. Go to our Facebook page, which is Radio Labyrinth. We also have Dustin runs what is called the Radio Shack, where most of the fans hang out and converse. And also go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Tim Andrews, where you can sign up. Because this week, we skipped last week, but this week we are going to be doing another RLP recasts. Autumn and I will be doing... let's see, 2 characters from The Shining. That would be Jack Torrance and Wendy Torrance. But
Wendy.
We'll be doing them as Donald Trump and his wife. So to see that, you're going to have to be a Radio Labyrinth Patreon member. Also, a lot of people are saying that they got their stickers. A lot more are saying nothing. If you are a patron at a certain level and above, you'll see a note right there on the Patreon page. Give me your address so I can send you stickers. And if you have a sticker, take a picture of it, please, and share it. Why not? I believe Fuchsy, our good friend Jerry Fuchs, has posted his on social media. So go ahead and do it if you can. So let's get started. How's everybody doing?
Oh, good.
Good. You excited? If you live in Atlanta or Georgia in particular, we have another tropical storm coming this week. So yay for that.
Yay.
Is that where your windows all boarded up?
No, my windows. I put those shades up because they're thick and they keep some sound out, so it's good. And plus, no one can see me jerking off in here. This was Zeta is the name of the storm, and it's coming. This will be our 4th or 3rd or 4th or whatever. So I'm just.
Is your basement still prone to flooding?
Oh God, yes. And the roof now is leaking. So we have.
Oh no! You need to call the roof guys.
No, they're not going to give me a discount.
Oh.
So I had a roof guy come out, and I just got to get on it tomorrow and clean it off with the blower, the leaf blower, and clean the gutters out and pray that the storm track jiggles its way someplace where we don't get a lot.
What a homeowner you are with my basement floods and I have a leaf blower.
Oh, it drives me nuts because I live in a state of anxiety the entire time it's raining. It rains Saturday.
Instead of getting to enjoy the beautiful rain.
Fuck the rain. I got pine trees.
I know. I'm never owning a home.
I'm going to come out there and kick the ladder out from under you. Yo, how's it hanging?
Oh, that wouldn't be nice. What's that from?
The Office.
The Office.
Hey Daryl, how's it hanging?
Well, I did watch it, but I quit watching it when all the people I like left. So just another gosh darn storm. I don't want another storm, but what are you going to do? You can't do anything about it.
Got to keep people from voting however you can. If it's a tropical storm, you know he's controlling the weather.
Oh, yes, he does have a weather machine. George Bush had a weather machine. President Obama had a weather machine. Remember when that storm went up in 2012? What was it, Hurricane Sandy? And that governor of New Jersey met with the president. Anyway, more important than the hurricane, of course, is that Hunter Biden has a great big cock.
I want to see it.
Well, you're going to...
How do I find it?
Google Jeffrey Toobin Zoom meeting.
Not be putting that up on the screen, by the way.
Well, if you go to 4chan, there's pictures of it there. You got to go to the politically incorrect board on 4chan.
Well, I Googled it. and nothing. I'm looking at my thing to make sure like I can get not safe for work pics.
Yeah. Did you see it? It's blurred out. I mean, but,
Oh, it is?
yeah.
I can't
There's a
find it.
shoebox there for scale. So
Yeah, but the dude loves hookers and crack, and my point of bringing it up is I just don't give a shit, and I'm sick of seeing it everywhere that I go on the
I
internet.
think you do give a shit because you were talking about it. And
No,
then
I think
you texted about it.
I think it's funny that it's going on, and people think that it's actually going to change anyone's mind what the son of a potential president is doing with his money. What?
Sorry, within the search, I found I'm doing an image search, and what came up was, "What does Bigfoot's dick look like?"
Well, I'm sure it's
What
similar.
a weird
Right.
Okay, sorry, continue.
So it's just really stupid, and so it's really. I'm going to tell you what's going on, and then we'll move on. There's a group of people from China who are probably cult members who don't like the communists or whatever. So they have all this information. They keep leaking it every day, and then idiots in this country retweet it and say, this is going to end Biden. It's not. Don't confuse yourselves. It's just salacious garbage. Vote however you want to vote. We haven't ever made that message, but I mean, it's stupid. It's really fucking stupid. And people just hanging on to anything. You guys probably don't get as involved in it as I do, I'm sure, right? The three of you guys.
No.
I'm still looking at pictures of Bigfoot's dick.
Hell yeah.
Is he uncircumcised?
Who would circumcise Bigfoot?
Yeah.
There's Bigfoot
They have Bigfoot moils.
The rabbi of the woods.
Sasquatch moil.
Squatch moil. Get over here. You have to cut that. You could probably wear. That's where hoodies come from. Anyway.
Oh yeah, that's where the ancient people got the idea for hoodies.
That's right. Not
Bigfoot's
hoodies,
dick.
but scullies, skull caps. Those are those Bigfoot foreskins. That's how people kept their ears.
Yeah.
In the olden days.
You had to use back in those days. We had to use all of the Bigfoot.
Yeah, you did the Bigfoot and the big foreskin. I'm going to name the show Big Foreskin. That'll catch all the algorithms. But anyway, so don't get wrapped up in all this crazy garbage that's going on a week before the election. Just do what you do and let your neighbor do what your neighbor does, and don't worry about it because it doesn't matter. And that's my opinion on that.
Stop taking over my Kanye for president sign, man.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Kanye, did you guys watch or listen to him on Joe Rogan that dropped on Saturday?
Mm-mm.
I know.
Only a small part.
Yeah, I got bored with it after a while because he just won't stop talking.
Well, you're listening to someone who has, no offense, some mental illness. So it's not like I could listen to it and think, oh, this is just what a rational human being actually thinks. I don't know where to parse through what's his disease or what's his mental state or what's anything. So,
right.
Just because he's a celebrity doesn't mean he doesn't have bipolar
or mania.
Yeah, well, he's in a manic phase,
right?
And his family's trying. When you don't hear about him for a while, that's when you know he's in the other side.
Yeah. I don't know what you thought, Dustin, but I got 90 minutes into it and I said, this isn't going to get any better. It's interesting. All the shit that's in his head that he just throws out there is amazing to sit and listen to. And Biden and Rogan just sat there. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Rogan did his usual he tries to relate to these people so much, but it really was a stretch with Kanye because it's almost like he was just waiting for him to say something that he could tag up on, but never did. Right. It just kind of just let him run. And it was, I don't think he knew where to jump in. And if he jumped in, if it would do anything.
Right.
He was just kind of spouting, especially seeing all the clips that are popping up now. They're 15, usually clips are like 2 minutes of someone. His clips are like 10 to 12 minutes.
Right. Because he's
in manic.
There's no ending.
Mania.
Right. There's no beginning, middle, or end. It's just.
I feel like you could take aside, one of your more interesting homeless in your community and maybe get a similar sort of thing. It's like, oh, what they're saying is kind of interesting, but I'm not gonna
in Texas, you had weed when you were out in Los Angeles. I just want to talk about it. I got this bottle full of urine, and inside of this bottle of urine is the key to the universe. But
maybe.
Rogan was great on the Comedy Store documentary this week on Showtime.
Really?
He was the feature interview for the whole episode.
That's cool. I guess I should just get Showtime. I want to watch that documentary. Is
Really?
it on CBS All Access?
No, it's just Showtime. I think it's just on Showtime. I don't. Do you get Showtime channels with CBS All Access? Because they own each other.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not.
You should.
I think it's like HBO and HBO Max. Things that are original to the app won't be on the main thing. You know, those are specific to the app.
Right. So you can't.
Kind of like Raised by Wolves was specific to HBO Max and not HBO. Yeah.
Okay. There's a new show that began on HBO last night that I recorded with Nicole Kidman. That
you recorded with Nicole Kidman?
I did. We talked. I said, let's
wow.
put it together and we'll watch it and then we'll talk about it.
I recorded it today too with the intent of getting up and watching it, but I did not do that.
You did not get up today to watch that show.
I did not get up today and watch it. I watched Card Sharks from last night instead.
Card Sharks, the original or
the Joel McHale one, the new one.
Oh, okay. I even forget what was it called? The Undoing, I believe, is the name of the show.
Yeah.
Steph recommended it, so I said, I'm gonna check it out. Let's see what else is going on.
I watched Midsommer this morning.
Oh, what a creepy movie that was.
I loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like not working this morning. Let me just sit back with my coffee and watch a semi-horror movie.
Did you watch it with the kids?
Oh yeah, I gathered them all around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it was intense and I loved it.
When they prayed to their teddy bear afterwards.
Spoiler alert, when they pushed that couple off of the cliff and their heads explode.
Uh-huh.
That was so fucked up.
It was amazing. I loved the big loudness of something and then it would just turn off, you know, and I felt very connected to the main character and how maybe it's like a woman thing, but it's like, oh, you know, I don't want to cause trouble or, you know, and you kind of like bend over backwards not to be in anyone's way. And then you end up, you know, being in this relationship for 4 years and taking drugs when you're not mentally ready to do that. And, you know, it was just really interesting. And I loved the end when she was covered in those flowers and smiling at that fire.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I loved it.
Yes. It was visually amazing. I will say.
Yeah. You know, there were some frames that I thought looked like Wes Anderson.
Really?
Yeah, there were some things that happened that were like, you know, they're looking up in that place where they were all sleeping. And then just at the very top, there was just like one person making a bed and it was just like one still shot. It was really, I thought it looked like Wes Anderson-y. But anyway, I know that's like an old movie. It's like, let's talk about Heat. You know, but
talk about Heat?
Talk about Heat. That's a great movie.
I want to talk about it now.
Yeah. I guess it's not that old. Was it early 2019 or 2018?
It came out last year.
Okay.
I watched it last year on my computer.
No one else is talking about Midsommer.
Oh, people are talking about Midsommer.
Okay. I'll join a Reddit thread about it.
Yeah, I got a Reddit because there's like a whole subreddit and you can talk about it and what.
Jim Gaffigan was on your show, your cop show.
I loved him on that show. He was very funny on that show. You don't like that show, do you? The Cop Show, which is Colin Quinn's new series that's on YouTube. It's very short episodes, of course.
The stuff with like Seinfeld and Jim Gaffigan I like, but the rest of it seems boring as shit.
Oh, really?
I know, but I love that because it's him. It's Colin Quinn.
Yeah, Colin Quinn.
Yeah, and he's you know the premise of this, Autumn?
No. Well, I guess they're cops. It's a bad Colin Quinn.
It's him making a cop show like SVU or something. It's in New York, but he doesn't have any money. Uh-huh. And he's kind of a prima donna and a douchebag, but it's him. And they do product placement inside the show. So maybe they should have washed the dishes with, and he holds up the bottle. This is really good at cleaning.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, but it is very slow moving show though, and I think that's done on purpose. Everything now is comedy, blah, blah, blah. Hey, we're Tim and Eric. Vomit. And I just like the subtlety of it. And plus I like pretty much anything that he does.
I'll check it out.
But it is an interesting YouTube show.
Okay.
Autumn, I wanted to ask you, are your kids going to trick or treat this year?
I don't know. So the day before Halloween, there's sort of this neighborhood party that we're going to go to with a bunch of the kids that the kids have already been playing with, and we've been in their house. And, you know, it's that whole thing where you just sort of decide what you like. Everybody's sort of like lived by the straight and narrow rules, and now we're all just like, we're going to bend the rules to make things a little easier. easier. So I think that that's what a lot of us are doing. We're like, our kids can hang out with each other, even though, you know, this person works at a Whole Foods and this person works at home, and I don't know where this person works, but my kids like your kids, so we're just going to hang out anyway. So yeah, we're going to have this little Halloween block party, and then I am going to play it by ear.
Okay.
You know, I might dress up the kids and see how it goes. You know,
there's got to be
walk
some
around.
Trunk or treat things where you can go like a grocery store parking lot and get candy.
That's true. Maybe there's something like that. I need to look on one of those stupid Facebook neighborhood
just
groups.
Equate to the same thing?
What?
I mean, besides
going
walking
to
up to someone's house or going to someone's trunk, you're still in proximity of people in their
people may
own
be sitting
environment.
in their car and the bags of candy are just in the back, and you reach in, take one, and go.
Yeah.
Well, and if you think about it, you really, I mean, they could, it's all touchless. If you go to someone's house, the person on the inside with the candy touches the candy and puts it in your bucket. And then, I mean, they've established basically that touching is not really the issue. It's more about your, you know, droplets or whatever in the air. Yeah. So I don't really see, unless you're, and if you're a high risk person, then just don't give out candy. Hello.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Like,
I'm dying of cancer, so come to my house and give me COVID so I can die. Kevorkian style.
Yeah. What, Jeff?
Speaking of droplets, you guys got to look at this Bigfoot penis I found.
Uh-oh. You showing it on screen? Don't do that.
Yeah, present it.
YouTube will pick us off. Hey, nice haircut, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks. First haircut of the pandemic.
I have only had one, as you can tell. My hair looks like shit. My wife told the lady who cuts my hair that I look homeless and that she needs to intervene. And I said, and I texted her and I said, look, Lysiana, who cuts my hair. Look. And then she said, you're looking really Little Big Man-ish, because she knows that I like that movie. And she is also, God, I don't want to say it the wrong way. She's partially First Nations. God.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway. So
percentage something?
Yeah, but no, she does really cool things. Like she'll go to Stone Mountain and then all over like the Southeast, and they do these dances, she and her husband, and they're really cool. They're really colorful, and the kids are involved. They're really neat looking. But we've always joked.
It's been raining so much.
Pardon?
Is that why it's been raining so much?
Yes, that's not very nice. I'm going to tell her you said that. She'll never cut your hair, jerk. I got that too late, but that was a very funny joke, Joe. It was. I got to give you credit. Well, I like that sweater too. You got all sorts of nice shit. Hair, sweater.
Wow.
See, we hadn't seen each other in so long. But so she knows I like Little Big Man, and we joke about that movie because I think I've seen that movie more than any other movie in my entire life.
Isn't it really long?
Yeah. It's as long as Hunter Biden's Bigfoot did.
Hey-yo.
You brought it back.
Yeah. Anyway, what else about Halloween? So we talked about this. No, we didn't talk about it on Labyrinth last week, but the Peanuts Charlie Brown special is not going to be on TV anymore. And I assume that the Christmas one probably won't be on anymore either. I know BFD, but I guess now it would be the 50th year where I would be able to watch it, maybe, or the 48th, 49th, or whatever. It's not there.
But what's the difference between having to schedule yourself to watch it and then just turning it on wherever you want? Whenever you want.
Can you watch it on YouTube?
I'm sure you can.
It's got to be on YouTube.
You can, and you can watch it on an app. What, Dustin?
Yeah, you can watch. You can watch it on YouTube, but I mean, we actually watched it on Apple Plus last night.
Oh yeah,
and it looks great. I mean, the quality. I don't know if they actually went through and redid anything, but it looks very clean. So I'm sure they bought the entire catalog. Because his family lost everything. The Schultz family lost everything in that fire, the wildfires last year in California. It burned his house. Yeah, and so they lost every bit of memorabilia, all of the stuff that he had made, all of his secret stuff that wouldn't put out. So they lost the whole house. The only thing left were the licensing rights. And so if CBS is going to run something one time a year, and I'm sure give you one set price, Apple's going to come in and say, hey, we'll buy the entire catalog. Of course. I mean, at that point, you don't really have a choice. And I think that was the big thing, as opposed to everyone saying, oh, they're just going after the money. Well, yeah, he wasn't a very, lucrative creator when it came to his stuff. He pretty much spent all his time creating, not trying to market his stuff to the masses. That was already done for him.
They were in insurance commercials, Dolly Madison treats.
Very few commercials, though, and very, very limited merchandise.
Yeah.
And his kids, I think, mostly did that.
Well, I had no idea that he had lost all that. I mean, even more than money, having all that original stuff would be, I mean, you can't replace it. So
no.
You can always replace money.
Can I say something maybe controversial?
Sure.
I don't really think Peanuts is that great.
Fuck you, bitch.
I mean, I understand it's like an institution and it's older and it's like, everyone grew up with it. And it was one of the first books, like little books that my mom would buy me and I would read them like from the book fair and stuff. But I mean, they're not really that great.
I had all the old ones when the way they were drawn in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, I had those too. And I would get them from like the used bookstore.
Yeah.
And they smelled great.
But I graduated from those to the Mad Magazine books. They made the same little, paperback books out of old Mad magazines. And once I discovered those, I was like, okay, I don't need Peanuts anymore.
I went from Peanuts to Garfield, which also sucks. But listen, I mean, I love the Garfield Halloween special, and that doesn't play anywhere. I look for that up on YouTube. From that, and then Calvin and Hobbes. Yeah,
Calvin and Hobbes was funny.
Like Calvin and Hobbes is something that's actually really good.
Well, because there's a gag, and there's always something. There's a joke, and there's a punchline. There's a setup. And
it's also really introspective,
right? And it's a kid's imagination.
Yeah, but Peanuts is like she's a therapist.
Yeah.
That got a rock. I don't know. Who cares? There's a tree.
I don't know. I guess it's nostalgia more than anything else. But the Christmas special is really good.
The Christmas special is really good because the soundtrack is so great. Otherwise, I mean, it's all right. What is it?
Guys, we got a Charlie Brown hater.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest.
Was huge into the Peanuts either. I mean, I like watching the Halloween special if it's on TV or whatever, but I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it on Apple TV.
The fact that it was a story where it was like, it's not on TV. Like, what? It's like saying it's not playing on the radio. Who cares?
Hey,
I watched TV.
They won't be showing A Star Is Born with the guy who does it in black, who sings Mammy in blackface on TV.
Yeah. I watched actual cable TV this weekend, and I was capital S shocked by the commercials. Like scrolling through the guide. Oh my God, there's a mosquito in my room. Ew, I killed it. Sorry.
Blood.
Yeah, blood. Look at the blood. Okay. So yeah, I scroll through the channels, find something I want to watch, and I'd watch like 7 commercials. And then the show, whatever it was, even if it was a movie or whatever, would be this tiny amount of time and then back to commercials. I couldn't believe it.
So up there, is it political ads or is it
we know that we at Dove Soap know that we're all.
No, those are all gone. Those ones about like, Dove has been around since 1872.
We help you wash away previous pandemics. We'll help you wash away this.
Remember the Spanish flu?
Trump did a commercial that ran during Walking Dead that said Biden was a zombie.
I know, I saw that one. It's fucking hilarious.
Really?
And, yeah, even if you hate the guy, that's a funny commercial.
Yeah.
What they say horrible things about it, and at the very end you hear, I'm Donald Trump and I approve this message. And fucking zombies. Like, and is that when you know that you're not going to win, that you put something out like that?
I don't know. All the time travelers on TikTok are saying Trump's going to win a second term.
The time travelers? There's no such thing as time travel.
There's all these people on TikTok that claim to be from the future, and people ask questions to them and say,
that's funny.
They like 4 or 5 of them have said Trump's going to win re-election.
Well, hey buddy, I'm from the future too. Fuck them.
Anyway, we'll know by the time next week's episode drops. We'll know who the next president is.
No, we won't, because all the mail-in voting, it's going to take at least 2 weeks.
Depends on what states. Anyway,
are they not counting them until election day?
Right. No, they can count them all the way to December if they want to.
But they can't open them up until election day.
Right.
All
That's
these votes
stupid.
that have been
just start counting them now.
Not all states. States that like Pennsylvania, that's accurate, but in other states they can count them now. So every state is different, which is funny because they try to sue the federal government or the Trump campaign. I don't really want to get into this, by the way, but they sue states. They sue states and they go, oh, you can't do that. And it's like, fuck you, states can do whatever they want. The federal government doesn't control how states do elections. So we may or may not know, who knows. If it's overwhelming, if Biden wins like 30, 40 states, he'll be president.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but it depends. Depends. Yeah. Who cares? I don't want to talk about it. Speaking of political commercials, Jeff badgered me into watching a 2-hour political commercial over the weekend called Borat. I forget. What's the name of the sequel?
Movie film?
Yeah, the subsequent movie film.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yes. So you want to talk about it now? You tell us why you liked it so much.
It was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it was really funny.
Okay.
Really funny.
I have written down the 3 times I laughed, like beyond chuckling, like real applause. There were 3 lines that Borat said. That's not a woman, that's Dog the Bounty Hunter. That was fucking hilarious. Who told you my middle name was Margaret? Also fucking hilarious. And then almost toward the very end, he goes, will you be my new black wife? No, I won't be a new black wife. All those were shocking and funny, and they were out of nowhere. There were other chuckles. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't seen it yet. There were some Easter eggs in it, like at the end of the movie, instead of sending women out for trafficking, they start sending out young boys, and there's a box with all these young boys in it. It says, addressed to Kevin Spacey. That was funny. Do you want me to spoil the premise of the film?
Yeah, you can talk about the plot.
Yeah, okay. So the plot basically, well, why don't you go ahead and do it? I've been rambling.
Borat has been in a work, what do you call it, hard labor prison camp.
Been in a labor camp in Kazakhstan because he embarrassed Kazakhstan. Right,
it's because of the whole last movie.
Mm-hmm.
But they decided they want to pull him out and send him to America to give a gift of Johnny the Monkey, who's Kazakhstan's biggest television and porno star.
Right, it's a chimpanzee.
They want to give him to Mike Pence.
Yeah, Vice Premier Pence.
Yeah, to regain the glory of Kazakhstan. So he crates Johnny the Monkey up and takes him to America. And his daughter ends up getting in the crate with the monkey, and that's how the whole...
Yeah, he didn't know he had a daughter. He went to say goodbye to his sons, and they all hate him. And he has one son named... he has a goofy... Oh, yeah, his one son changed his name to Jeffrey Epstein. And then he finds that he has a daughter, and the daughter lives in a cage, and she, the fish out of the water in this movie isn't Borat, it's his daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
because Borat would be recognized everywhere, so they send the daughter in to fuck with people this time.
Yeah, there's a scene at the beginning where they get to the United States where Borat's walking around, and people, hey, Borat, can you take a picture? He's like, no, that's not me, I'm not Borat, I'm not Borat. Yeah, so she's going to be a gift to Mike Pence. Well, they go to the Mike Pence thing at some rally in some state, and I forget where, and that's when he puts on the fat suit and a Trump mask, and he runs around and he's screaming, and they throw him out. And that really happened. We saw that earlier this year. And then because Johnny the Monkey dies, the daughter has to be presented, and so that's why she ends up in the hotel room with Rudy Giuliani in a roundabout way. There's a whole story as to how she got there prior to that I don't want to spoil in case you haven't seen it and you're interested. But so there's a lot going on. But the things that really that cringed me out, I'll say, the Christian pregnancy counseling scene, that was weird. So she accidentally eats a plastic baby, and she wants to get it out of her because he's worried that's going to tear her ass up. So they go into an anti-abortion abortion clinic. Like, instead of an abortion clinic, it's just conservatives telling you not to get an abortion. Mm-hmm. And he's like, we got to get the baby out of her. I put the baby in her. I'm her father. All that stuff.
Right. That's funny.
The premise, I guess. I don't know.
Listen, I didn't say like that's funny.
No, but
it's funny.
Yeah, there's just lots of weird stuff like that, and then there's throwing out Stephen Miller or anything like that, all that weird shit that's involved in the Trump stuff. It didn't bother me. I'm not bothered by it. It's just like, oh, I get it, but everybody's done these jokes. You're Sacha Baron Cohen. You don't need to do hackneyed jokes, and a lot of those jokes were hackneyed.
Well, could it also be that a lot of those jokes were done over the last year and a half, and at the time, maybe they weren't? No, these are jokes that have been said since 2016. True, yeah. That kind of thing. And,
for somebody as creative and smart as he is, it feels like the first movie was so fucking great and so funny and so fish out of water, and he was a sweet, sweet character, and he's still the same character. But this one, I just felt that it was lacking a lot of things. I didn't dislike it though, and remember in the first movie he had that fat partner with him.
Yeah.
He goes, "Can I take him?" He goes, "No, you're sitting on him." And he gets up from this chair, and the chair is covered in that guy's skin, and there's a little penis.
Well, that guy lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah, but that was so funny. You weren't. He gets up, and there's a dick there. There's a couple other funny scenes. Again, I hope we're not spoiling this for you. I believe it's so polarizing that people will watch it because they politically and won't watch it politically. But there's these two QAnon guys that he goes to a cabin to hang out with and learn about their ways. Plus, he's under quarantine, so he has to stay with them because this is all shot as the virus is progressing, which I think is cool. Don't you guys? It's like it's a time capsule from this year.
It's a slice of life.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, going back to the Mike Pence scene, you hear Mike Pence. This is real early on. Go, we only have 15 cases, and we've got it under control. And I'm like laughing. Going, yeah, right. Okay, sure. But yeah, they have that throughout the movie, and these two guys are really nice dudes, and he's in their cabin. I don't know if they're actors or real people, but they're really funny, and they're teaching about Hillary Clinton's evil. I mean, it's just funny. I don't want to. I mean, if you can divest your emotions from how you feel politically and just watch this as a piece of satire, certain scenes like that are fucking hilarious.
That's exactly what I told to you to make you watch the movie.
Right. But I'll tell you, I didn't watch the other movie with Sacha Baron Cohen, and I'm not going to watch it. Sorry.
Which one's that?
The one where
7.
Yeah, Chicago 7.
Oh.
Yeah. I hope they all win Oscars, though. I know they're all going to be competing against each other in the awards. But I'm not going to watch that. I will recommend, though, Borat. If you can handle it, if you're not going to get triggered by somebody who doesn't like who you like, you'll enjoy the film, I think. I don't know. It's so weird to talk about stuff that way, isn't it?
No, what do you mean?
To talk about stuff like a comedy movie, to go, well, if you like Trump, you're going to be upset by this movie. I just mean in general. I mean, you got to be upset by things. I think it's stupid.
Well, that lawsuit just came out today or yesterday with the lady in Atlanta, the Holocaust survivor that he interviewed in the movie.
Wait a minute, I didn't know that happened because they were like sweet ladies. She can say
she's dead though.
She died now.
Yeah. Oh, so tell Autumn that scene. What happens in that scene?
Where Borat goes into a synagogue dressed as a stereotypical Jew.
Yeah, with bat wings and
big nose.
Oh, right, the horns.
Got a puppet that says media on it, and he's got a big bag of money.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, good morning. It's lovely weather you're controlling."
And but these ladies are super nice. They say, "Look, I'm a person. I don't have. Do I have a big nose?" And she doesn't. And then my friend, does she have a big nose? It's kind of long.
So they sued him?
Yeah, go ahead and tell that. I didn't know that.
The daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the daughter of one of the ladies in the scene, and she was told that it would be an interview about a Holocaust documentary. And so that was the premise, the guys that she gave her consent to. And then she's since passed away, and now that the movie's come out, the daughter is suing.
So for what? Just for lying in the contract?
I guess, or just
Amazon.
She's suing Amazon directly, so it's probably probably because it's Amazon.
Oh yeah, that guy has plenty of money. I support her. Give her some money, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, he has too much money, and I'm not a person that cares about people having money. No,
but he has too much. He has all these vans, and they're going up and down the road, and they're annoying, and they make the dogs bark, and I want to put tax out there so they get flat tires. Sick of it. I'm sick of all the traffic. Let me tell you this. I had 5 people at my house today. One of them was invited. Everybody else is just the neighbors. Hey, how you doing? Walking up the driveway, no mask. I'm like, hey, by the way, I got to tell you, I'm still paranoid about this virus. Oh, okay. Well, I'll stay 2 feet away from you. No, that's not the recommendation. Stay back. No, I'm putting my mask on. I don't care how weird you think I look. I don't. You know that I'm on a radio show on a station that used to be right wing. Just telling you, I like you. You're all nice people, but wear your mask if you come onto my property, please.
People don't wear masks?
No, none of them.
No.
I had to ask. Put your
Oh.
like we had the roof guy out today. He gets out of his truck. I go, "Do you have a mask?" "Oh yeah, better put that on, huh?" Yeah.
Wow, you got to come up north, BB. We got masks on everywhere we go.
Oh, I know. You have to wear one in your house.
Yep. I'm really breaking the law. Closet.
But it's the familiarity. I was like, "All right, how you doing, neighbor?" I'm great, and I like you.
Yeah.
I like talking to you, but put that mask on. I'm an old man now. I'm going to be 50. I probably have 8,000 comorbidities. I don't want to get involved in it.
Do you tell them to leave so you can smoke and bring your mask down?
Well, that's my problem is that I sit in the car park and smoke cigarettes. So if I did that, I wouldn't be outside. I make myself accessible, so it's my fault. And I'm not knocking people. I'm just saying, hey, look.
I don't want your droplets.
But anyway, I'll get back to Borat. I thought it was pretty good. So thanks, Jeff, for badgering the shit out of me and making me watch it.
That's why you should.
All right. Let's see. A couple of news stories. Archer has been renewed for a 12th season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Why do you call it the year of the cartoon?
Because the animation doesn't shut down because of COVID. So there's going to be a shit ton of cartoons in 2021, I imagine.
I found out that Jackson Public is in negotiations. Those guys are in negotiations with Adult Swim to make a wrap-up movie for the Venture Brothers. So that would be nice.
They're letting Your Pretty Faces Go in Hell make a wrap-up movie, so they ought to let them do a wrap-up.
Has there been any word on Squidbillies?
No.
Yeah.
I think you'd hear something before we would.
Well, I don't know why I would, but maybe, I don't know. That sucks. You know that guy that's going away probably, right, Autumn? You know what happened?
No.
Have you ever watched it?
No.
Well, okay.
Unknown Henson said a bunch of rude stuff
To Dolly Parton.
Oh, that's right. I do know that.
He called her a race traitor.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit. He's running for mayor someplace. I guess he's in northeastern North Carolina up in the mountains or whatever, or I don't know. But to call Dolly Parton a race traitor, and it's insanity. Fucking to call anyone that is insanity.
Yeah, to think that way is dumb.
Right. But to Dolly,
he could have come back the next day and said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I was drunk. I love Dolly Parton." No,
maybe double down.
They doubled down on it. Yeah.
Yep.
Lame.
Which is too bad because that's a funny show, and it's really not that difficult to not say stupid shit like Dolly Parton's a race traitor, you big old boob black lover. Okay, chill out.
Yikes.
Yeah. Really not difficult to say that and mean it and then not lose your job for saying stupid shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, so I guess I need to get caught up on Archer. I haven't watched it in like 4 years.
Me either.
They're all on Hulu. And even this most recent season, it's first run on FXX or
right.
FX, and then the next day it's on Hulu.
I didn't like the concept seasons. That's when I was like,
that's what it's back to its original now.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask what's their location now?
He was in a coma for all that shit.
Okay, is it ISIS still now? Can they call it ISIS again?
No,
of course, because they're afraid of ISIS. I destroyed the ISIS caliphate in 2 days. Quibi is shutting down after 6 months. Boy,
no!
If you put money into that,
God, not Quibi.
All those classic Quibi shows.
6
I would have
months.
missed the 10-minute movies.
Yeah,
the Reno 911 stuff because I love that show, but
yeah, that's true.
Did not do it. Nobody wanted to watch 7-minute shows during the pandemic when we have fucking 20 hours to kill a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm rewatching Game of Thrones. Desperate.
Yeah, I watch Barney Miller episodes and Three's Company and shit on Pluto TV. The other day I watched the Errand Boy, the Jerry Lewis movie. Love that fucking movie. And that was on Pluto. I'm like, I'm going to watch that.
Pluto's tough to watch because of their commercials, though. I don't mean to be so commercial-centric on this episode. But
their commercials are short, and they're those awful ones that because they,
they're all the same.
They're only 4. Yeah.
Are you over for a place?
And there's that one that's like for dog food or something where it's like all that lame dog food, and it has all that like EDM in it. I get so offended by that because it's so like, what if I was trying to take a nap right now with Pluto background? That would piss me off.
Really? I can find somebody my age on the phone to date? I'm over 50. On the phone?
Karen Handel, she supports Donald Trump and she doesn't like abortion.
Are those on Pluto?
Yeah, here they are.
Oh, okay.
They're but they're real low grade ads.
Uh-huh.
You know, like everything else on there.
Oh, I just watched Fail Army. And I wish that eye candy thing was back where those girls danced around.
On the
I love
beach.
that show. Yeah, they had to get rid of that. They went legit.
They did get rid of it?
Ridiculous.
I haven't watched Pluto in a while. I used to watch the train show.
Yeah,
That was my first love of Pluto. I was like, have you heard of Pluto? You can watch a train in Norway. I loved it.
Let's watch the Trade Channel.
I felt like if I looked away, it would crash.
I know.
If you look away, it goes through a tunnel and ends up in a different country when it comes out the other end.
When it would have like the different seasons, like it would do that swipe of exactly where they were, but in a snowy season. Oh, I love it.
Now you have to watch that TBS show about the train that travels around the world because it snowed too much.
Oh, yeah.
I think they called it the train that couldn't slow down.
It was a great movie. The show, not so much.
The show was all right.
I fell out of it after 4 episodes. I'm like, it's going to take too long. Good acting, though. I mean, I like everybody in it. The movie was better.
Yeah.
Speaking of bad reboots, Smokey and the Bandit revival. Check this out. Danny McBride and Seth MacFarlane are going to rape the shit out of Smokey and the Bandit and make it unwatchable and garbage. There you go.
If those two guys are behind it, I would give it a chance.
Nah.
I would watch it, but I'd have to see it first.
Who's asking for this?
No one. Those guys.
There was already one, and that was the worst.
What do you mean there was already one?
Oh, I'm thinking of with Jessica Simpson and...
Oh, you're thinking of Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
And that was Broken Lizard. Yeah, that was...
That was?
Yeah.
That was
Jay
too bad.
Chandrasekhar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't particularly care for that all that much. I don't know. It doesn't need to be redone. What are they going to go get? Weed? I mean, you can get fucking Coors everywhere. And
probably.
They're not. Yeah, it'll probably be weed. And just thinking of the casting and
you're gonna have a politically correct highway patrolman and his son, or something. Yeah,
it's gonna be, just like we're characters, aren't we? Weird. We're doing something weird, unless Seth MacFarlane takes the what was his awesome that Next Generation show basically?
Oh, the
Orville. The Orville. Maybe he'll take an Orville approach and like really like filter through all of this. Too much Gene. He has too much Gene.
Orville's so good, I can't believe it's a Seth MacFarlane thing.
I know. Well, the beginning of it is like, this is pretty Seth MacFarlane, but then like 4 episodes in, it gets a little more subtle.
Well, here's a reboot that I'm looking forward to, actually. Tim Burton's going to redo or make a series out of the Addams Family. I loved his 2 Addams Family movies. I love the original Addams Family, and I'm sure I will like this. So
Tim Burton's behind it. It's gonna be good.
Well, he did Planet of the Apes, and boy, that sucked.
And he did Alice in Wonderland and the Willy Wonka.
The Addams Family is like in Tim Burton's universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
You know what I mean?
But that's when he would make movies and he didn't, douse his movie with Tim Burton. It was peppered in and you could see little glimpses of like, oh, this is his style. This is this director's style. And then he turned into just like jizzing all over everything he made and it was too much. Pardon my...
What's crazy is I watch a lot of reaction videos now. So a lot of young kids watching stuff for the first time. A lot of them recently have been watching Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice has a real renaissance.
Sleepy Hollow and things like that. And it's weird. They don't care for Tim Burton's style at all. It just doesn't click with like a younger generation. They just the outlandish claymation mixed with CGI and everything else. They just it throws them off. And I think it's something we kind of grew up, taking in and processing as part of our
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they don't get it. They don't get it at all. It's kind of weird to see all these kids look at Beetlejuice and like I thought they would love it, and then they watch it and they're like, that was weird. That was so strange. And it was like, it's Tim Burton. What did you expect? But they don't get it. They just don't understand who Tim Burton is. They just think of Dumbo. It's like the last thing you did. It's like, well, if that's what you're basing it off of, I don't blame you.
Dumbo.
Edward Scissorhands. When can I show my kids that?
Oh, what a great movie.
When I saw it in the theater, it was too much. I was crying. I was like, "Can we go home? I want to go home."
It's a good 10 to 12 range. Yeah.
What was the first movie that I wanted to leave? Because Jeff and I snuck in and saw Scarface at the university. I think I was 12. That chainsaw scene, I was like,
Oh,
I was
mommy.
no, it didn't scare me. It was just like, what the fuck? I remember the first time I watched 48 Hours. I'm like, I'm going to watch Eddie Murphy movie. Hey, I love Eddie Murphy. He's great. But on 48 Hours is nothing but brutality and murder. And I'm like, oh. I
No.
the light on when I went to bed. It didn't scare me. Oh, tissue.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, tissue, which there's something of the.
It says this disappointed in the cooking of the duck meat.
Duck meat, yes. You guys know what that's from, Jeff and Dustin?
Yeah.
It's from the Red Letter, or no?
Red Letter Media.
Yeah, Red Letter Media. One of the Star Wars reviews from Mr. Plinkett.
Well, he does it in all of them. Oh, yeah, that one specifically. Yeah, from one of Star Wars.
Speaking of watching a lot of YouTube, I've been watching a lot of Red Letter. Was it Red Letter Media's Half the Bag review?
Half in the bag.
Half in the bag. Now that's him, right? The guy, one of the guys that sits on the right. Yeah, you could. His voice is like, it's not much of a stretch for him to do his voice for Mr. Plinkett at all.
Right. I love those Mr. Plinkett videos.
I love Half in the Bag. I love the rewatches. I love them all.
Yeah, they're great reviews.
I love. Did you see the Next Generation, like their top 10 Next Gen episodes? It's somewhat new. They've put out a couple of things since then, but it's really good.
No, I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Disappointed in the cooking of the duck meat. Oh, hello. Yes. Oh, who's the young lady?
That's Autumn.
Autumn.
Hello.
Is she 16?
She's of age.
Times more than 2.
Oh, well, I wouldn't find you interesting. I'm James Mason-esque. My name, okay, since you asked, is Ian Nubbinsworth. I am related to the other British Nubbinsworth, Redbox troll who's dead.
Oh.
Reginald,
your
brother.
Right. Twin brother, dead.
I'm so sorry for your loss. I didn't know that he had died.
Well, it's okay. Thank you. We play a game every week here on Radio Labyrinth called Radlibs. You ever play Mad Libs, young lady?
I have played Mad Libs.
This is very similar. What we do is I take a movie synopsis and ask you to give me words in place of the words that are already there. And then at the end, I read it. So if you'd like to play, Autumn, all 3 of you could play.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Oh, great.
Let's do it.
Why don't we start with Autumn?
Okay.
Give me an actress.
Sandra Bullock.
Jeff, give me another actress.
Reese Witherspoon.
And Dustin, an actor.
Burt Reynolds.
Wow, they'd have to do CGI, wouldn't they? Autumn, give me a student grade level.
First grade.
Jeff, give me a verb, an action verb, a verb with action in it.
Stab.
Autumn, give me a type of disease.
Foot and mouth disease. Foot and mouth? Foot and mouth?
This is fine.
Okay.
Dustin, a residential area.
Subdivision.
Subdivisions. In high school halls. Oh, I don't like that. Autumn, give me the name of an American city.
An American city. Seattle.
Okay. Jeff, give me a direction, as in north, south, east, and west.
Southwest.
Okay, Southwest. I was just thinking, like, why is it hard for you to come up with?
Autumn, give me a type of food.
Lasagna.
Jeff, give me a weapon.
Switchblade knife.
Ooh.
Dustin, a verb.
Jump.
Autumn, a group of peers.
Group of peers.
Hmm.
What does that mean?
Friends. Relatives.
Friends? Oh, okay. Yeah, friends.
Okay. Jeff, a type of crime.
Mopery.
I knew you were going to say that because that came into my head.
What did you say?
Mopery.
Mopery.
Exposing yourself to a blind man.
Is that what that is?
According to Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, I guess I haven't seen that enough to know.
Yes, well, Jeff and Tim have seen it several times. All right, Dustin, an adjective.
Laura, big.
Autumn, a verb. Wait a minute. Okay. Slide. Okay, well, that's it. So let me make sure I got it. Vamp for a second, please.
You guys, it's fun being back on this show.
Yeah,
It's
come back.
fun having you back on the show.
Yay.
Yeah.
How's the topic going?
It's good.
What did you guys talk about this week?
We talked about IKEA.
Did you actually go to an IKEA?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I have been many, many times to an IKEA.
I've only been once.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Chit chat time.
And then I had to go twice to return the thing that I bought.
Ugh, that's the worst. Putting it half together and then having to take it apart. Oh,
Damn it. Shh. Stop.
Right. You told.
Sorry,
Jeez.
Mr. Nubbensworth.
Speaking, I have to get back to my Lolita troll. Kill her fat mother so I can run away with her. Okay, you ready?
Ready.
Skeptical first grade student Helen Lyle, played by Sandra Bullock, stabs Anne-Marie McCoy, portrayed by Reese Witherspoon, while researching foot and mouth disease in a subdivision on Seattle's southwest side. From Anne-Marie, Helen learns about the Lasagna Man, played by Burt Reynolds, a switchblade jumping figure of urban legend that some of her friends believe to be responsible for a recent act of mopery. After a big man matching the Lasagna Man's description begins sliding into her, Helen comes to see that the legend may be all too real.
Yay.
You want to know the movie?
Candyman?
Candyman.
That's right. Candyman. Lasagna Man.
Lasagna Man.
You man.
Garfield's
That's funny.
favorite.
I don't know. So, does Lorenzo Music do the voice on that, or does Bill Murray?
Lorenzo Music. Bill Murray didn't do it until
The movie.
the computer movies.
So we've gotten to that point in the show where we talk about what we've watched, and things of that nature, and things that we're going to promote. So is everybody caught up on Fargo?
I am.
You watched last night's?
Yes.
All right. I have not watched that one yet. Dustin is 2 behind. How many behind are you, Autumn?
Oh, all of them?
Okay. Then we won't talk about
I saw the movie.
Oh, did ya? The
Oh,
show.
yeah, I saw the movie. And it was
You'd
great.
like the shows if you watched them.
I know.
Well done.
I go through these phases of what I think I need mentally, and that's what sort of it turns into what I binge. So, for a while it was Vanderpump Rules and Jersey Shore, because I think I needed to see people in conflict and like resolving their conflicts through like just shouting at each other and just like hashing it all out. And then I got into
There's plenty of conflict on Fargo this season.
Yeah.
I know, but it might be too like intense.
You know why you might like it? You might like the actress who plays the nurse with Munchausen.
Nurse, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Who? Love that lady who's playing the crazy nurse.
Yeah, she has is it Munchausen's? Is that what that's called? Is that the condition she has? She kills her patients.
She's just like an angel of death, kind of.
Yeah,
Munchausen. Is that Munchausen's by proxy?
By proxy. Yeah.
But yeah, and then I started, and I just finished Sopranos, and now I'm into Game of Thrones, so I don't know where my head's at. It's a murdery place.
Right.
So you watched all 6 seasons, 7 seasons of The Sopranos in one long chunk.
Yeah, for I guess over a week and a half or 2, maybe longer.
Right. Yeah, but that shouldn't take you more than 2 weeks to watch all of them.
And then, and I had stopped watching them, like, so I had never finished the series, so I really enjoyed finishing the series.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what do you think? Is he dead?
Yeah.
You think he's dead? Okay.
100%. And all of the symbolism at the end, like where everyone ate the onion ring, except for Meadow, and then the guy in the jacket that came in that was also symbolism earlier. I don't know. I think that he killed Tony and AJ and Carm.
You think?
And, yeah, because those were all the people that walked into the diner.
Mm-hmm.
And then Meadow, she walks in late, and I don't think that she wasn't there for all the symbolism, so I don't think that she was killed. And all that stuff in the beginning where it was those things where he was talking to, I think it was Pussy, or if it was
when he says you'll never know when you don't see
you won't hear anything.
You won't hear it when you won't.
Yeah,
hear it,
and it just ends. That's exactly what it was. Our journey with Tony ended. Bam, the end.
Go ahead, but the
Journey playing on the jukebox.
See, yes. Journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the beginning of the series, you start in the middle of something going on, and you end in the middle of something going on. So I've always looked at it that way. That it's like you have a record, and somebody just drops the needle in the middle of it, and then it plays for a while, and then picks it back up. You know.
So I don't remember what the first episode is like. Does it just does it just start, or is there like a build-up?
It opens with him sitting in the lobby of the therapist's office.
See, that's nice and chill.
Yeah.
If they started it right when like he was in the car with Christopher and running down that dude, then I would agree with your theory a little bit more. But whatever, it can be whatever. But I'm not here to say you're wrong.
No. But here's where it could play. Here's where your theory could play in. They are now talking, and I hope it doesn't happen, but I kind of hope it does. All the interest.
You hope it happens, but if it's good, then that's good.
Well. With all the talk of Sopranos is as popular, if not more popular now than it was when it aired. People talk about it all the time. There's lots of meme Twitter accounts, and there's a podcast that Steve Sciarippa and Michael Imperioli do, Talking Soprano. And they have that movie coming out, the Many Saints of Newark, right? Mm-hmm. Which is a prequel with Tony's dad and Uncle Junior and all those people, and Christopher's dad, and Michael Gandolfini, that's his name, right? That's James Gandolfini's son. So they're saying that it may create some interest for a new series, but I don't think that he's into that kind of thing. David Chase.
So you don't think he'd be a part of it?
I don't think. Well, he'd have to be. It's his baby, but I don't think he is into that sort of thing. Do you guys think that? Anyone want to weigh in? Jump in.
He probably would have left it more open ended if there was a chance of him coming back and doing another series.
Yeah. Well, but that's why now the ending, they can just say that he was killed in there.
Yeah.
And then, but I don't see.
Didn't he already say that anyway?
Who? No, he's never said.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I thought he had years later. I thought he confirmed that. Yeah, he didn't. Okay.
He won't say.
I think what you're talking about, where he was like, Sopranos is dead. Like, I'm not doing any more.
Oh, and someone took that out of context.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if exactly that, but I remember him coming out saying like, leave me alone. It's up to whatever you want.
Right.
Yeah.
Those two guys argue about it all the time on the podcast, and I think that that Steve Sciarippa, who of course is Bobby Bacalari, says, "No, he's alive. I don't believe that shit." Like, people will send in fan theories, or they'll do all this research, and they're like, I think all these guys are gay, and Tony's gay, and it's all a weird thing. It's like, no, that's bullshit. I'm in awe of you. And then he because Michael Imperioli doesn't get on the internet all the time, so Sciarippa will tell him, "Oh no, there's a meme of that. You know, you can go to websites and people will post where you're really high and going, I did that." Remember that scene?
Uh-huh.
I did the. It's when Tony beats the shit out of and kills Ralphie, and And Christopher is stoned. He's high on heroin.
Oh yeah.
I need you to come over here right now. And he goes, I thought you weren't going to do that anymore. I did.
I didn't.
So let's see. What have I watched? Let's see. I told you guys earlier I watched Cop Show, Colin Quinn show on YouTube. Very digestible. The Borat sequel. Fargo, I'm behind 1 week. I started the Dead and Gone podcast and I listened to all of them.
Oh, did you? I've only listened to the first two.
I listened to all three. There's only three so far that I've listened to. That's interesting story, interesting podcast. If you guys aren't familiar with it, it's Payne Lindsay, who did Atlanta Monster and Up and Vanished. Is that what it is?
Is this the Grateful Dead thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Payne Lindsay not Done Disappeared, which is
the parody of
the parody.
I forgot about Done Disappeared.
I love that guy. And the thing about Payne Lindsay is that he talks like this, and then he narrates, and I don't hate it. It's a little over dramatic for me, a little dramatic. But he has the guy who is the host of Disgraceland, which is another popular podcast about the music industry, and this guy.
He does the rock and roll in the 1960s where a bunch of outlaws and Hell's Angels and Jerry Garcia got a new guitar and he put a sticker on it and blah, blah, blah. You know, I mean, it's that overstating the mythology surrounding it. It's like, okay, we're talking about people that get murdered at dead shows that they've never been able to solve. And there have been several over the years. And so it starts out the first episode.
That show that we went to.
Yeah. No, I didn't go to that Rutherford show.
You didn't?
No, I wasn't there. But it did happen in Rutherford. I remember that. But that was solved.
Oh, did they? I didn't think they ever solved that.
I thought so. But it starts out, they talk about a bunch of different ones, and then they focus on one. And so now they're trying to find out. And that's the part of Payne Lindsay's stuff that I like, that he will slowly peel the onion, and then he'll find new layers. And I think he does an okay job. But the other guy, he's just...
Yeah, and then the rock and roll and Timothy Leary and the bus and the drugs and
not letting the content speak for itself.
Maybe this podcast would have millions of subscribers if you did that voice.
Well, maybe I'll start doing it because I'll.
Yeah, and then in the 60s, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I hate that affect.
I don't believe any of that, right? And I don't buy any of that. You know,
He's not like at home, like pass the salt.
And then I said to my wife, give me the salt. This changed everything.
We're out of milk.
Go ahead.
Is the podcast, I mean, I saw a post, Jeff, that you made. You were talking about the podcast. It seemed to me that, is this something that was a conspiracy theory to begin with, or something where if it's happening, do they think it's happening because of who these people are? Or is it just
they're using the fact that all these murders or deaths or whatever, these people were fans of the Grateful Dead. They're not saying that there's a serial killer going around killing Grateful Dead fans.
Right. They're either going to a show or it was shortly after a show where they get murdered and it's unsolved.
And was it unsolved because they thought there was a...
No, it's just because they couldn't identify the people. Remember, a lot of these happened in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, so it's not like now.
So it's trying to track down a killer in a group of people that are nomadic, and right. So these people are constantly basically homeless. So there's no way to follow.
Yeah, and anything like that from the 60s and subsequent years. There's a group of people that have been following the Dead and jam bands for years. They drive in a real fancy old bus. And if you know people who tour around, and don't go near that bus. They're crazy weirdos. You know what I'm talking about, Jeff? That
religious cult.
Yeah, they're a religious cult. So, maybe it'll be them. Who the fuck knows? But anyway, it's an interesting podcast. And if you're into the Dead, it's good. Let's see. Both Jeff and I listened to the Odd Couple panel on Gilbert Gottfried's Amazing Colossal Podcast. Did you finish it?
Yep.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I loved it. And then I listened to the podcast hosted by one of the guys that was on that show who just talks nonstop about Hollywood. And that was pretty interesting, but he's got a real DJ voice. Hey, yeah, we're going to talk, we just sit out here in LA and we're going to, hey, you know who I'm going to have on? But I don't think he has tons of listeners, but he has a lot of big guests. And I forget his name, so forget it.
I saw Sandro Padre liked your drawing.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Wasn't on Twitter?
Which drawing?
I thought you put it up for, I can't remember which one it was now.
You mean the Paul Lind one?
Yes.
I sent it to him. I didn't know he liked it in the thread. I sent
it.
He
liked it.
Oh, cool.
So I thought you'd already seen it.
No, I sent it to him directly, and you must have read that. Did you read the direct message?
That's probably what that may have been what it was.
I better stop sending dick pics to Gilbert. No, I just sent it to him. I really liked Frank Santopadre and Gilbert. They're that podcast and a couple others that they talk about old stuff. I get lost in it, and I don't think about all the.
They're both huge Odd Couple fans too. They've always even when they're not doing Odd Couple references, it the show comes up quite a bit on the podcast. Yeah,
and they have such reverence for the TV show as well as the movie. But so this year they've had all the kids on the show were Jack Klugman's kids. And earlier this year, they had Walter Matthau and Jack Lemon's kid, and Jack Lemon's kid is actually an actor, right? Chris Lemon.
Yep.
And they talked about the movie, and they talk about all the shit they did, and that's why I like it. I love how knowledgeable they are. And Frank Santopadre is probably the most knowledgeable person.
Oh yeah, he's like an encyclopedia. It's crazy.
Yeah. And he keeps Gilbert from going off the rails and talking about shit that would get that show canceled, because Gilbert has a propensity to do that stuff. Let's see.
Gilbert can't even read like a small block of copy without fucking up.
Right, he can't. You managed to get through that one, Gilbert. Yes. Our guest this week. Thank you. I can't maintain it. The best Gilbert Gottfried impersonation done by anyone on the face of the earth is Amy. What is her name from The Wire? Amy, and she was also on The Office. She was the blonde that he fell in love with.
Amy Ryan.
You got to find it. If you've never heard Amy Ryan do Gilbert Gottfried, she has the cadence. She has everything.
What?
Oh, I'm not.
Really?
It is perfect. Amy Ryan's Gilbert Gottfried. And she was on the show, and it turns out she's this huge fan who spent her life loving him. So she just absolutely.
No way.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love it.
I like finding out shit like that you don't know. But yeah, see if you can find her Gilbert. It's the best one I've ever heard. There's a podcast I occasionally check out called The Carson Podcast. It's about a guy who interviews people that have been on the Tonight Show or worked on the Tonight Show. And the episode from October 8th with Bob Uecker was really good. I love Bob Uecker. And I'll give you my staff pick, Truth Seekers.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Has it started already, or when does it start?
It starts next weekend on Amazon Prime. It's Nick Frost and Simon Pegg, who are part-time ghost hunters. And yeah, what was that noise?
I liked it.
I hear Simon Pegg's not in a lot, but he's great when he's in there.
It'll be fun.
He's great behind the scenes.
Yeah. I love him.
Yeah, great
So
writer.
that's my stuff. If you guys want to throw in your
My staff pick is the new top secret videos that's coming this week on True TV.
Okay.
Like Brian Posehn, Ron Funches, Matt Walsh, and it's basically like their take on America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh,
Cool.
I think those guys will be funny watching the videos.
interesting. How do I watch True TV?
It's on
It's a
basic.
cable channel, yeah.
It's a cable network.
Oh no.
Oh. Oh. Sure, you can find it. And your other staff pick is what?
Oh, Mandalorian starts this week.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Are you guys watching Pen 15?
I am.
Jethro.
Do you love it?
I love it. Yeah.
God, I love it. I feel like if you're a girl and you grew up in 2000s.
Yeah, that's
especially,
that's right up your alley, man.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
like
Jeff,
it.
you're perfect.
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, this season, the season 2 that came out recently, I feel like is much more like intense.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I almost started it the other night. I was looking through for something to watch after Borat, and I'm like, I should watch a new series that I ever watched. What's this? Pen 5. Oh, I mean, Pen 1-5. Looks like penis. Is it penis? But, yeah, so I added it to my list or whatever to watch. So I guess now I'll check it out.
If you want a fun podcast to listen to, SUP podcast, S-U-P. It's the Sexy Unique podcast. It's really this. It started as this Vanderpump Rules thing because Vanderpump Rules, the restaurant there is SUR, S-U-R, Sexy Unique Restaurant. But anyway, so they're recapping Rock of Love.
Oh,
the
wow.
one with Bret Michaels, and it's so fun.
Oh,
it's
that's
so
cool.
much fun.
I watched that show.
Yeah, me too. I watched Rock of Love. I watched Flavor of Love.
I watched Flavor of Love. I never watched Rock of Love.
Yeah, Rock of Love was so
Rocky.
great.
I think you should watch Richard Linklater's Animal Rescue show that starts this week.
Okay,
Izzy.
Izzy.
Oh, she has the eye in the sky.
Her eye got taken from her when she was just a puppy.
Do you have anything else you want to mention, Jeff, for Dustin?
I'm good.
Okay.
I didn't watch much this week. Working on the pod. But I will have.
Oh, now he's bitching about it.
Yeah, good answer.
No, I'm not bitching.
Working
about
really
it.
hard on the
I know. I
I try to watch stuff at the same time, and it just doesn't work.
Right.
But the let's see, my staff pick would be the action show Spooktacular.
Oh, hell
starts
yeah.
this Thursday.
That's right. We got to put links to that and everything. So
I'll have some links up in the video. But yeah, that starts. They're doing it Friday or Thursday, and
theater, right?
What?
They're doing it at a theater.
They are going to do it at a theater, but he didn't send me the information, so I can't promote it.
They did. Yeah. I was
We'll post the information in our show link.
We will, and we'll have it all in our social media too. But I got to get Josh to send me the info. He has a new press release and all. Now, quit eating things off the floor. You won't cough. Anyway, yeah. So finish. I'm sorry, I interrupted you, Dustin.
No, that was it. That was the one thing that this week that I wanted to check out. All the little video promos they're putting out. It looks like a really cool, like Shane's, done up for the Dr. Mort and doing all this 60s, Spingoli stuff. So it looks
it
looks great.
That's awesome. And Autumn, everybody check out Autumn Fischer on the One Topic podcast with Greg Russ. It's available each and every Monday, it looks like, from social media.
Yep. You wouldn't know, but it's totally fine.
I know because I see.
I know you know.
Autumn, are you still door dashing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Not as often. I've been a little busy, but door dashing is really cool because you can hey, I really want to get this really super soft fuzzy blanket from Target. Oh, it's $40. All right, maybe I'll DoorDash for a couple hours and make $40.
Oh, you're gonna give me another one for Christmas?
No, you didn't even appreciate that one.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now.
Has anybody come to the door naked?
No, I wish. It would make some good content.
Yeah, I did Uber and Lyft for a while, a few years ago, probably 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I always thought that it would be like nice content for like stories or something I could write out of it. It was the most inane, there's nothing special about it. There's no, real characters or anything else.
Nah.
Nobody throwing up in the car. It's just people trying to get places.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Hey, nice blanket, Tim.
This is the nicest blanket anyone's ever gotten. I like it more than the one my grandma made.
Oh, good. Grandma's dumb.
Here you go, Izzy. There's your bed.
Yeah, it's a dog. How dare you? It's for the dogs.
And you can also catch Autumn and I every Monday through Friday on the Haessler Doctrine. You can listen on the WSB Radio app. You can listen live on WSB. You can listen on the website.
Find me everywhere online on social media at Autopritz, AUTOPRITTS.
Yeah. And our theme song is done by John Mark Lindell. He's a great guy. And Regular Guys fans would recognize him because he did all those really cool songs toward the end of the couple of years there. And so
he's playing again, too.
Oh, he is?
I noticed they were doing some gigs in the last couple of weeks.
We got to find out what his gigs are so we can plug him on this show. So if you are a Patreon member, be on the lookout for Friday, a new episode of RLP Recasts. It'll be a scene from The Shining. It'll be our final horror one. Then we'll move on to something else, but it'll be me and Autumn doing Melania and Dawn. So that's where that'll be. And until next week, please remember to keep
it canon.